So we're going to go through, for this recorded lecture, we're going to go through week 12 review, then business strategy and link to CSR. And then we're going to do the 15 practical implementation steps for CSR and talk about the final assessment. So we're going to go through the link with CSR and business strategy, going through the 15-step implementation model and the CSR value curve. So like I said before in the last lecture, are the in-class presentations that will be on a recorded basis from now on. So if you need to, send it over, just screen record, or if you want to meet with me on office hours to do the presentation, you can, just let me know. We can do it through Zoom, like anytime that you're free. Or if you want to send a recording, it's up to you either way. If you want to meet with me on Zoom or do a recording. And then as well, you're free to join my Friday lecture. It's the same Zoom link as always, the same Zoom link that I sent you. If you want to join the Friday lecture from 4 to 7, you're always free to. So I'll annotate that. So 4 to 7 p.m. Fridays, Zoom link that I use every class. Free to join. So yeah, do that. And then so we're gonna go through some more things about CSR, like a kind of an overview of what we learned. So we learned that CSR means treating the main stakeholders of a company in a responsible manner. And corporate means any group of people that work together in a company or organization, whether for profit or not for profit. And then social means the social system. It includes finance, economy, environment, and social issues. Responsibility is about taking issues that affect the corporate body seriously, and about acting within and even beyond societal norms. Then strategic means having a strategy that takes an idea into work model. A systems approach means including all aspects of the system in the decision-making process. And then competitive advantage is the implementation of a value-creating strategy, not simultaneously being implemented by any current or potential competitors. So business management is focused on cross-functional decisions to ensure that they meet goals long-term. So they want to integrate the activities in many areas of business to achieve long-term success. So think about, why do companies have a strategy and why is it important? So think about that on your own and write down in your notebooks. You can send me an email about this. And yeah, you can send me an email about this if you want, what you think of in terms of why they have a strategy and why it's important. Why do organizations need strategy? To agree a common purpose, to give a sense of direction, to allocate resources to sustain competitive advantage, to measure performance, and to satisfy stakeholders. And then strategy drives the future direction of organizations. Key question for strategists is what role CSR plays in shaping an organization's future. So my first question is, what do you think some key steps for implementing a CSR in a company would be? So answer that question amongst yourselves. What you can think of for that. Yeah, what would be the key steps? And then talk about business goals and decide on the purpose of the social responsibility program. Is the president, CEO, or similar demonstrably involved? So read through this thing, manpower. Think about if the upper management is involved. In my opinion, that seems like they are, because this seems like top-down governance where they have focus on eliminating discrimination, and trying to eliminate a lot of trafficking, slavery, child labor, exploitation. So I think it's top. So the 15-point implementation strategy, you got to look at how the long-term vision matches up with business goals. So for Unilever, you can go through for Unilever, the highest standards of corporate behavior towards everyone we work with, the communities we touch, and the environment in which we have an impact. So Unilever, they have a very good corporate social responsibility focus. So that company is a good example. I attended a talk with the head of Unilever Canada in, I think it was 2015, and they have a very good social responsibility program there. I highly recommend researching about Unilever for example. Then what are your competitors doing on CSR benchmarking? So another key step is to benchmark your company's or your organization's current or planned CSR performance against either competitors or similar organizations. And then decide an overall budget. Is there a steering group or some other kind of structure identified to implement and monitor CSR? So putting in place a strategic CSR program will probably require financial investment, in that the requisite management infrastructure may have to put into place. And when carrying out a scoping study and doing benchmarking, it's sometimes prudent to hire consultants. Furthermore, publishing sustainability reports can be expensive because of audited. And then talk about like determine the key stakeholders, and then there's a report that exists that includes input and responses to and feedback from the stakeholders. So this is the stakeholder maps. There's many stakeholders. So for football, soccer in the UK and in Europe, employees, referees, and coaches, players, agents, supporters, club owners, managers, league representatives, sponsors, communities, media, supply chain associates, governing bodies. So there's a lot of stakeholders for football and soccer. And then do a lot of research. What are the latest business standards? So GRI, WTO, ILO, UN Global Impact, and SA 8000, AA 1000, those are new. And then has a CSR strategy for each stakeholder been developed after consultation with them? Revise budget accordingly and embed CSR into all key non-financial asset functions. So important to revise the budget, and then carry out stakeholder dialogue and ensure it's being done in a systematic way and on a regular basis. So then identify the key indicators to measure progress as a socially responsible enterprise and ensure that they're appropriate measurable. So KPIs are important for internally and externally. And then it's important to look at the data for KPIs and think about how to improve KPIs. And then determine the cost and benefits of the proposals to ensure that they're realistic. And then companies may produce reports under various titles: social reports, corporate social responsibility reports, sustainability reports. And then think about advertisements that are being done in this area of CSR and market the program accordingly. Then think about the social responsibility proposals against costs and benefits on an ongoing basis. So CSR performance will constantly evolve and need to be evaluated in terms of costs versus benefits. If there's greater external recognition of superior CSR performance, improved reputation to follow, and then ensure CSR policies are operating and truly embedded to the extent that no CSR exit strategy is required. So CSR management governance sits at the heart of the alignment of company values, societal values, and expectations. CSR constantly evolves. It is still advisable to keep a small team to continue to monitor the evolution. And CSR value curve. relationship and time scale between the integration of CSR into the business strategy and return on CSR investment. So we got to do legal compliance initially to think about how you meet the laws, and then strategic philanthropy, so align charitable activities with social issues, values-based self-regulation, incorporate the company's value system and or code of conduct to guide its behavior, efficiency, measure cost savings through efficient win-win scenarios, and then access markets, innovations to generate revenue. So business strategy is critical because there's more legitimacy. You have better routes to market, and the organization has unique resources. So this is a 15-point implementation strategy. So the first one is identify business goals and CSR programmed, and then there are the upper management involved to define the value statement and mission of the company. And then how does long-term vision match business goals? 3, what are your competitors doing in CSR? Benchmark. 4, decide an overall budget. 5, identify key stakeholders, and then figure out how to get feedback from the stakeholders. And then 6, do some research on the global standards. Then 7, has a CSR strategy for each stakeholder been developed after consultation with them. 8, revise budget quarterly and embed CSR into all key non-financial asset functions. 9, carry out stakeholder dialogue and ensure it's being done in a systematic way. 10, identify the key indicators to measure progress as a socially responsible enterprise. 11, identify costs and benefits of proposals. 12, implement activity. Then 13, research how to advertise this. Then 14, think about cost benefit analysis for each CSR proposal, and then ensure the CSR policies are embedded. There's no exit strategy. And this information, 15 steps, will come in handy on the financial exam or case study. So next week, CSR in the future, read and review chapters 19 and 20 in the text. And then last class for term, final exam, case study.